Good evening, my name's Philip Oliver. I am a senior lecturer in Business Information Systems and Analysis in Northumbria University Business School in Newcastle. And I've been in the business school for about 8 years now, and prior to that I worked in the computing and engineering department, again on business information systems. Now, one of the things I've been working on over the last number of years in the business school is precisely what this video is all about, is improving the data literacy, or a term that I've often used is the data savviness of our business school students. And I mean across the board. I'm not just talking about students who particularly perhaps choose business analytics, because that is one of the programs that we deliver. I'm talking about across the board of business management, HR, marketing, logistics, accounting, finance, and improving the data savviness of all of those students. Not so that they are data scientists, let's say, but so that they understand data and aren't scared of it, and ultimately appreciate why businesses need to use data. Now, going back to when I first started in the business school, what I've noticed over the years is a number of the students have come in and said, data, numbers, do we need to do anything with numbers in the business school? Even to the limit of I chose a business program because I didn't want to do anything with numbers. Now, that in itself is a big worry. Now, it's got a bit better, I have to admit, over the last few years, and this is why I did a bit of research into it, and it's why I want to take that forward and come up with a framework. That's effectively what I'd like to talk to you a little bit more about here, as a framework for business school students. Now, how do we do that, and where do we do it? Well, yes, to answer the question, it's across the board, across all of the programs, across all of their years. And I say all of their years, I would say more particularly the first few years. And when I say the first few years, I'm also talking about foundation students, because we have foundation degrees here leading into the level 4 program. So what I've been working on over the last few years is building that over the first 3 years. And I'm also very much into placements and promoting placements and looking after placements, which I find very useful because it gives me access to organisations that I talk to about the skills that they would like students to have. And very much the answer that's been coming back is, yeah, we need them to understand data. We need them not to be absolute experts in it and to know every single bit of software, because they all have their own software that they prefer to use. Although one bit of software which pretty much every company should use to a certain degree or not is Excel. So a lot of my teaching is based around data savviness, understanding what data is all about, and using Excel to do some analysis. Because many of the organisations came back and said, we'd like to be able to give our employees a block of data and ask them to make some sense of it. For example, to convert the data that they've gathered either from some of their own research or from surveys that they've secondary research, and to convert that into a sort of dashboard. Okay, and that is something that I've done quite a lot of. So how do we do that? Well, across the board, I'd like to, use ex-students who've gone through placements and who, when they've come into first year, have been in the same position and have perhaps said, data, we don't need data. The realization often comes when they get into their placement year and beyond, and then they think, that was quite useful to understand data and the use of Excel. And some of them, I mean, one student came back to me one year. He worked for a large organisation, and he came back and he said, every department uses Excel, and he was expecting them to be using all sorts of, because it was a tech company, he was expecting them to be using something a little bit more complicated maybe. So I came up with I've been working on framework and the different skills, and it's not just about data skills. It's standard and what I class as general employability skills is very, very important as well. So across the board, in a nutshell, I believe we should be teaching them Excel in the first few years, building on that over time, building up to them to be able to use it in their own university modules, but ultimately in businesses to improve their employability. Okay, I think that's all I've got time for. I hope that I've got lots more to talk about, but in the time available, that's all for now, but I'd love to speak to you more about it. Thank you.